consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages, and the use of tobacco is strictly prohibited. Thank you for your support of Lindenwood Athletics, and enjoy today's game. And now let's meet the starters first for the visiting Grizzlies. A senior from Golden, Colorado, number 7, Brennan Grass. A graduate student from Littleton, Colorado, goalkeeper number 9, Brendan Williams. A freshman from Logan, Utah, number 18, Mason Anderson. A sophomore from Peach City, Georgia, number 44, Ron Johnson. A junior from White Lake, Michigan, number 34, Matt Fuss. A sophomore from Seattle, Washington, number 39, Chase Roosh. A sophomore from Denver, Colorado, number 41, Declan Larm. A senior from Las Vegas, Nevada, number 4, Ian McFarland. And a junior from Watsonville, California, number 24, Luke Myers. And the Grizzlies head coach is Jerome Austin. And now it's time to meet the starting lineup for your Lindenwood Lions. A sophomore from Dunlap, Illinois, number 10, Jake Russ. A graduate student from Burlington, Ontario, goalkeeper number 11, Kyle Hebert. A junior from Prior Lake, Minnesota, number 16, Brian Colbert. A senior from Grapevine, Texas, number 17, Michael Miokic. A graduate student from Windsor, Ontario, number 28, Patrick Koschal. A senior from St. Louis, Missouri, number 29, Peter Covington. A senior from Naperville, Illinois, number 34, Chase Showalter. A graduate student from Burlington, Ontario, number 35, Colin Hunt. A senior from Glenwood, Maryland, number 43, Jordan Nall. And a junior from Aurora, Illinois, number 50, Adrian Thompson. The Lions head coach is Jimmy Lang, who is assisted by Jeremy Frosch, Tyler Gilbert, and Mark Pry. At this time, please rise if you are able, and gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
It is time for game number 7 of the men's lacrosse season here at Lindenwood as they host the Adams State University Grizzlies here at Hunter Stadium. My name is Dominic Osher, calling all things live on the GLVC Sports Network. Some beautiful weather on this Monday afternoon in St. Charles, Missouri for this one, Lindenwood's second game in the span of 2 days. Adams State comes into this game 0-1, only one game prior to this one, all the way back on March 5th, a 21-4 loss to Colorado Mesa. On the other side, Lindenwood coming off of that exciting victory on Saturday when they defeated number 3 Indianapolis 8-7 in overtime. You heard the starters, head coach Jim Ling on the sideline for Lindenwood. Assistants are Jeremy Frost, Tyler Gilbert, and then Mark Pray for the Lindenwood coaching staff, a team that has a 4-2 record so far this year, 1-0 in conference play. On the other side, head coach Jerome Austin with his assistants Johnny Rosas and then Ben Nolan as Adams State looks for their first win of the season and their first win since 2019. As you see the two teams lined up on the Lions logo, Adams State in their green tops, along with white lettering on the other side, Lindenwood, white tops, black bottoms, and black lettering. How does Lindenwood carry the momentum in from Saturday? A win, a statement win at that, here at home against a very good Indianapolis team, one that went all the way down to the wire and required overtime before Patrick Kaschalk scored the game winner off of a Cam Smith assist. And the center for Lindenwood, it's Miocic, as we get set for some weekday men's lacrosse action here on the GLVC Sports Network. Miocic wins the faceoff and passes it over to the far side. First possession of the game belongs to Lindenwood as they look for their 5th win of the season and their 7th game of the season. Nolan Corker onto the field wearing the number 27. Zugahauer on the near end, as well as the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week, Cam Smith. Lindenwood sweep the honors last week with Eber getting the Defensive Player of the Week, as on the offensive end it was Kaschalk. This time still Eber defensively, but now a difference up top with Cam Smith. That shot couldn't get its way through, and it's scooped up by the starting goalkeeper here today, and Brendan Williams for Adams State, a graduate student and goalkeeper from Littleton, Colorado, at 6 foot. Expect him to be busy today against this Lindenwood offense that didn't have its best game against Indianapolis, a very good defensive team, but still did enough to earn the victory. But it was a strong defensive performance yet again from head coach Jim Link's squad, a team that's averaging right around 8.8 goals allowed per game, ranks number 11 in the country coming into this game. Lindenwood in possession again. It was a quick Adams State possession before the turnover. Now here is Cam Smith showing off his speed. Cuts it on to the far side, looking for a pass. Finds one now. Adrian Thompson, 1 goal, 1 assist in the win against the Greyhounds. You'll be seeing him operate behind the goal majority of the game. This is an opportunity for Kaschalk right away. Passes it across. Corker shoots it. Save made. Another chance on the way for Lindenwood. They pass it to the top. Zugahauer's shot finds the back of the net, and it's an early 1-0 lead for Lindenwood. Didn't take too long for Lindenwood to open the scoring. Overwhelming possession and aggression on the offensive end leads to a 1-0 lead inside the first 2 minutes of the game. And it's Keith Zugahauer who gets the goal, a youngster who's already been making an impact in his first year as a Lion. The freshman from Gravenhurst, Ontario. Previous school was the Christ School, and now he's at Lindenwood on a very deep Lions roster. They win the face-off again and pass it all the way to the back, where it was held now by Eber. As he watches Eber, the defensive player of the week, what a showing he had against Indianapolis on Saturday. One of his better individual games so far. 13 saves, only 7 goals allowed. Seventh goal of the season for Zugahauer, as it's been a great start to his Lindenwood career. Maybe another chance on the way. They pass it into the middle. Cologne shoots it right directly at Williams in goal. So on the counter now come the Grizzlies, an offense that couldn't really get it going several days ago on March 5th against Colorado Mesa. Scored just 4 goals in that game. They trailed 9-3 at the half. Scored 1 goal in the second half, allowed 12. Kokean has it on the far side, trying to lose his Lindenwood defender in the form of McTeague. McTeague has the size advantage, but is having trouble catch up. Kokean passes it across, pass a little bit errant, but it still finds its target on the far side, now held by Austin. Jacob Austin, the second leading scorer from a year ago, had 8 goals for this Adams State team. He passes it to the top, the shot goes wide of Eber's goal. So possession remains on, still belonging to Adams State. Under 12 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Coming on for Lindenwood is Danny Carolyn, a freshman from Arizona. Pressure on the far side, drops his defender, chance on the way. Eber is there for his first save of the game. Strong offensive play that time, as you'll be hearing this name a lot, one of their top scorers and top assisters on the entire roster, Balabanov. Had a clear trip to the area of Eber. but couldn't score. Kyle Ebert crossing midfield, passes it off to the far side. Conceded a goal against Indianapolis where he was stuck in his own or the offensive end. Couldn't find a pass. Turned the ball over, and the Greyhounds were able to capitalize for their 4th goal of the game. Cologne with it now. Another young player on this Lindenwood roster that is full of youngsters all across the board. Dylan Cologne, a freshman from Texas. Adrian Thompson holds it far side. A little bit of pressure on him as he makes his move towards goal. And now gives it off to Cologne. Cologne, the team's leading assister. 10 assists so far already this year. Here's Thompson into the middle. Wide open. It's an easy goal this time for Peter Covington. No one near him. It's a 2-0 Lions lead. A great ball movement for the Lions sets up an easy one for Peter Covington, who scores goal number 4 of the season for him. .45 left to go in the first quarter. The start you would expect. Lindenwood 2-0 here at home so far this season. They have had a tough home schedule as well through their opening 2 games played here in St. Charles, Missouri. Their first one being on February 19th against a top 20 Rockers team. Beat them 20-8. And then the win against Indy on Saturday. So Thompson picks up the assist as well. Lindenwood, a team that has done a great job so far this year in terms of assists. They are averaging right around 6 a game. Ranks inside the top 50 in the NCAA. Possession on here for Adams State. We've already had a good look at goal. Balbanoff had a good chance, and it was denied by Ebert. Again, made 13 saves against Indianapolis. Spin into a double team. Lions knock it away and force the turnover there. For Ebert, it was the 3rd straight game where he's made 10-plus saves. Continues to make an impact defensively for Lindenwood as the GLVC Defensive Player of the Week for the 2nd straight week and the 2nd time in his Lions career. Here's Corker now, standing on the near hash marks around the 35-yard line. He looked over to the far side, and some fresh legs in there for Lindenwood and Jacob Van Cleek, a junior from Wildwood, Missouri. Smith now to Thompson. Thompson looks over to the near end. Has an option in Zughauer if he wants to go that way, but instead they moved all the way around to Corker. Corker across. Keith Zughauer again. Already has scored 1 goal in this game. Has taken 1 shot in the game. Smith. And now Covington. Those two go 1 and 2 between him and Thompson. They fake the pass. Now go to Corker. 12 seconds left to go in the possession. As that shot is saved, there was a good chance for Cash Chalk. At least the shot clock resetting now at 60. So possession lengthened for Lindenwood. 8:42 left to go here in the first quarter. Pass goes behind the goal for Thompson. Thompson weighs his options. Found Smith, who finds Corker, and it's another save already for Williams. Give him 3 saves so far here today. Denied the Cash Chalk shot earlier on in the possession. And that one by Corker as that play goes out of play. And the Lions have a chance now offensively again. Just a sloppy start for Adams State, a team that's already turned the ball over 3 times here in the first quarter. Thompson to Smith, and Cam Smith, what a start to the year for him. 11 goals on the season so far. Also the 2nd leading assister on the team. Ranks number 2 in both categories. He has 8 assists coming into this game. Playmaker wearing the number 9. Off the ball right now, but he stands on the far side. Corker now to the near end where it's held by Zughauer. Under 8 minutes left to go. As that pass goes a little bit wide, we'll see which way it goes. It should be in favor of Adams State, and indeed it is. Adams State University, located in Alamosa, Colorado. That is nearly 14 hours away, 917 miles away as well. So a long road trip here for the Grizzlies to come to St. Charles, Missouri for their first road game of the season. They did have a scrimmage against Air Force. That was all the way back on February 5th. Didn't play for a month after that until March 5th when they had their loss to Colorado Mesa, a game where they really never were in it. They have lost by at least 17 in each of their last 3 games against Colorado Mesa University. Pass to the top, too high of a pass, and that's going to be a costly turnover. It was a good chance on the way for Adams State. It was Koking here on the near end. He's already had one shot, but they couldn't find him. That's a costly turnover for Lindenwood. Here's a chance now for the Grizzlies. That shot is denied by Hebert again, and it's scooped up by the Lions. Chase Showalter was in defense, but Colin Hunt was the one who was able to pick it up in the dangerous area, but it was another save by Hebert, already 2 in the game that time. Another point-blank opportunity for the Grizzlies, but they couldn't find the back of the net. Remains 2-0. Lindenwood on top. 6.5 minutes left to go. Lions on a 2-game winning streak. Before that win against Indianapolis, they earned a victory on the road where they won against Lynn University. Cologne. Cologne, skillful player, and a quick 1-2. Where's the number 1? Stands on the near side off the ball for now. Could be on his way to him again as it's held by Morris. Covington thought about the pass in front, decided to hold on to it a little bit longer. And now they have Kashuk lining up his shot. Couldn't get through. Good block that time by Northup. Lions hold on to the possession. 10 seconds left to go in it. Here's Cologne into the middle. Finds his man, who finds the back of the net. Second goal of the game for Peter Covington, and the Lions have a 3-goal lead. Can't ask for a much better start for Lindenwood. A couple great saves on the defensive end by Hebert, then offensively capitalizing on the chances they've been given, and specifically Peter Covington as well. 5th goal of the season for him, now 5th on the team with that goal for Lindenwood. Three Lions goals and 3 Lions assists already in this game, as the playmaking's been there all the way around. Cologne that time picking up his 11th assist of the season, showing great chemistry already with the rest of the roster in just his first year as a Lion. Coming onto the field and getting the ball is Balbanoff. They move behind Hebert's goal. Good spin to shake their defender. The shot goes wide, however. Tight defense at the end. .452 now left to go. Adams State in possession as they bring it in play. Between the hash marks now, Balbanoff, best chance of the game so far for Adams State. One-on-one with Hebert. But it was Lindenwood's goalkeeper who stood up to the challenge as he holds it now, passes it between the hash marks. Couple of moves being made by Matt Fuss. Shoots it well over, but they were the closest ones to it. 18 seconds left to go in the possession. Starting his move towards goal, but now being forced outside. Some good defending that time for Lindenwood. It was Knowles in defense. Now 6 seconds left to go in the possession. Had to put something on goal, and they do, and Hebert is there yet again. His 3rd save inside the first quarter to deny the opportunity from Adams State. Lions on the attack again. Second game in the last 2 days for Lindenwood. Started conference play with that win against Indianapolis. A game where they trailed for most of it, but were always able to keep it close. And then with 2:14 left to go, the Lions took their first lead of the game off of a Cam Smith goal. That was his 3rd of the contest. Some contact there. Lions hold on to the possession. Zuhauer lines it up, shoots it. It was denied, though, by Williams, making his 4th stop of the game. So Cam Smith scored the game go-ahead goal with those 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to go. But then after that, Lindenwood trying to hold on and had an aggressive Indianapolis offense to try to prevent from scoring one more goal to tie the game and send it to overtime. Unable to do so, however. With under 30 seconds left to go, Indy found that equalizing goal to send it to overtime. Didn't take long in overtime, however, less than a minute into it. It was Cam Smith on a beautiful move behind the goal, setting up Cash Chalk for his second goal of the game and the decisive one. So an emotional win for Lindenwood, their second win in program history against the Greyhounds. Now they come into this game with plenty of momentum and confidence here at home as that one goes out of play. It was ran down by Eber. Lions take over in possession, 2:35 left to go here in the first quarter. This will be the second to last non-conference game of the regular season for Lindenwood, who have been busy in their non-conference schedule so far. That involved a trip down to Florida and a difficult schedule down in Florida as well. That trip began on March 7th at Florida Southern College. They were number 15 at the time, a 13-9 victory there in Lakeland, Florida. And then it had to play the number 2 team in the nation, Tampa. University of Tampa won that game 11-8 on March 9th. As that shot goes wide, it was Morris at the top, firing that one to the right of the goalpost. Mason Homer gives it off. Cash Chalk, Thompson, Covington. He's got a first quarter hat trick, and how about the ball movement again by Lindenwood? It was an assist for Thompson, his second of the game, but Covington with his third inside the opening 14 minutes. The senior from Chaminade in St. Louis, Missouri, having himself a day here on this beautiful Monday in St. Charles. Already his third goal of the contest, and no answer from this Adams State defense so far. Covington, a player who has scored in double figures in each of his 3 seasons so far. As that shot is saved, that time a really good read by Williams, who quickly releases it for a Grizzlies counter. But his first season, 2020, only played in 5 games, but Covington scored 14 goals in those 5 games. That one goes wide and out of play. It'll be Lions ball once again, moving from left to right. Those 14 goals were the most goals in a season for Covington up to this point. In 2021, he played in 11 games, started in 9, scored 12 goals, had 5 assists, so a strong season for him. But had an even stronger 2020 before COVID-19 shut the season in sports down as Thompson fires it to the far side. Smith looks into the middle for Homer wearing the 42. He wings it over to the near end for Zughauer. Thompson showing off his playmaking ability so far, setting up several Lindenwood goals. He came into the game with just 1 assist, and now another chance on the way for Lindenwood. Somehow it doesn't go in. It was Homer who put it on frame, but standing tall once again and being busy so far is Williams. Williams in his second appearance of the year, second start of the year as well, the only goalkeeper to appear in a game for the Grizzlies. Played 60 minutes against Colorado Mesa, made 18 saves, but allowed 21 goals in the defeat. Holding on to it on the far side was Balbinoff, and that is how the first quarter ends. A first quarter that was dominated by Lindenwood. They lead by 4 after a first quarter hat trick by Covington right here on the GLVC Sports Network.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
Couldn't have asked for a better start for Lindenwood. They lead by 4 after the first 15 minutes of play. Eber in goal, 3 saves and 3 highlight reel saves as well for the GLVC Defensive Player of the Week. And on the other side, Peter Covington has been special for Lindenwood so far. 3 goals in that first quarter to lead the way for the Lions. He also took 6 shots, so all over this Adams State defense, 5 of them being on target. Adrian Thompson set up 2 of the 4 Lindenwood goals. The other one being by Zughauer as the face-off is won or given to Adams State, a team that has struggled in the past and in recent years. They haven't won a game since 2019. Last year, 0-9 record where they went 0-4 at home, 0-5 on the road. Their closest game in that season was against Colorado State University Pueblo. They lost 8-6 in that one. 2020, before the season came to a quick end, as that shot goes wide, they went 0-4. But in 2019, they earned their last victory, which was on March 29th, 2019, against Notre Dame de Namur. 13-7 victory there. That's the last time they've been in the win column, nearly 3 years ago to this date. Balbinoff somehow fights through a couple defenders, but it took a deflection on the way through, and here come the Lions again on the counter, quickly going the other way with a full sprint far side. Cashtalk lines it up, denied by Williams. Lions quickly grab it again. That possession launched by McTeague, the junior from Frisco, Texas, down the middle. As the Lions have their first possession of the second quarter. Here's Thompson now. 3 assists on the year. Put him 4th on the team, behind Cashtalk's 7. He sits in 3rd. Thompson gets it back, looks quickly to the right side, goes that way for a Cologne, and now it's Morris. And Thompson just lost that one, but he's able to scoop it up before any further damage could occur. 20 seconds left to go in the possession. Lions holding on to it. Far side, it's held by Homer. Cologne with 10 seconds left to shoot. Lions taking their time. 5 seconds left to go. Thompson has to get something going for Lindenwood. That was intercepted out of the air. Really good defending that time for Adams State University. It was Declan Larm, the sophomore from Denver, Colorado, standing tall and reading the pass. But that pass goes high, and the coaching staff and others for Adams State holding their head and holding their knees as well after another turnover, make it now 6 on the game for them, and that was a chance where their attack had numbers, but they elevated the pass too high, and it went out of play. So the Lions will take over again, a team that has never lost to Adams State University. They are 8-0 all time against the Grizzlies. That dates back to 2011. The last time these two teams met was on March 19th of 2019. Lions won 14-9 here at Hunter Stadium. As a chance could have been on the way, they decided to pass it off to Smith. Now it's Thompson over to the far end. Zughauer. Corker gave it off. He found the back of the net against Indy, and the Lions find the back of the net again here with Adrian Thompson. He's set up 2 goals, now give him 1 as well with 11:56 left to go in the first half. The Lions are on top by 5. Fourth goal of the season for Adrian Thompson, wearing the number 50, showing off his value on the offensive end here in the early going, with 3 points already as the squad coached by head coach Jim Ling, who is here in his 9th season. His first season was back in 2014. As that's just a errant pass. He got again, Castronk was all over, intercepted it out of the air. So the usual goal scorer here today turns into the assister, and the usual assister turns into the goal scorer, as it's Peter Covington picking up the assist. He's done a great job of that so far this year, making now 3 assists on the year for him. To go along with his now 6 goals. Here's Thompson. Looks in front, finds Morris. Morris to Cologne. Cologne tried to fire it into Morris, who is just overpowering the defenders, and what a slick pass that was to Covington behind the back. Didn't matter. Morris was able to find his man. JP at 6'3", one of the tallest players on this Lions roster, and how about the velocity on that shot that time, going all the way out of play over to the far side. You don't want to be on the end of a J.P. Morris shot, and that was the case for Williams that time, who still stood tall. He has played admirably so far in goal for this Grizzlies team. He's been under fire quite a bit already, 8 saves with 5 goals allowed. That one just slips out of the Peter Covington stick, but Morris is there to keep it in play. Now it's Thompson with still plenty of time left to go in the possession, around 38 seconds as it's held by Mason Homer. Cologne. Castronk. How about the passing here again by Lindenwood? Morris to Cologne. Cologne thought about shooting. Instead, passed it into a bit of a crowded area. Lions in risk of turning the ball over, but still both teams fighting for it. Cologne the closest one to it. But instead, it ends up with a first quarter hat-trick hero in Covington. Now it's Castronk with 10 seconds left to shoot. Morris in front. Thompson, oh, what a save again. Somehow that doesn't find the back of the net. It was Williams standing tall again, and the ball moving by Lindenwood could not have been any better that time to set up the chance for Thompson. Could have had his second of the game, but it was denied by a 10th Brendan Williams save. Looks like he'll be asked to do it again as the Lions force another quick turnover. These Grizzlies possessions aren't lasting too long so far through this first half. They are able to cross midfield on some of the possessions they've been granted, but haven't been able to do too much damage after that. They've been outshot so far 20-10, 15-3 in terms of shots on goal, which is just another key stat to look at in favor of Brendan Williams for Adams State as he continues to play strong in net, making it just a 5-goal game when it could be a whole lot more than that. As Corker fires it to the far side, Zughauer looked in the middle. Now they find the Offensive Player of the Week in the GLVC, a conference that is loaded once again with talent. Rockers is there, start of the season ranked. Smith loses his defender, shoots it, and scores it, and there he is once again. He was busy on Saturday with 3 goals to his name. He's busy now as well, scoring the team's 6th goal here in the first half. Cam Smith gritties his way over to the sideline, and the junior from Fishers, Indiana, can't ask for much more than what he's produced so far this season. 12 goals on the year for him already, to go along with 8 assists. Face-off won by Adams State, going the other way. It's held on the far side. Can the Grizzlies just find some sort of offense here in this first half? They've had a couple good chances, but Eber has been there to deny them, and that shows the true danger of this Lindenwood team, and they showed that against Indianapolis as well. They have a potent attack and a deep one, too. It's led by star power in the form of pitcher Kaschalk and Cam Smith as that pass goes behind its intended target. They have all this talent on the offensive end, several capable scorers. Covington's already scored a hat trick here today. Corker, a double-digit caliber scorer. Zughauer is as well. Cologne, such a good playmaker. All this offensive talent, but then you look on the defensive end and you see the back-to-back GLVC Defensive Player of the Week in Kyle Ebert, and he has become such a valuable asset to this Lions team. He showed that against Indianapolis with 13 saves, including some remarkable ones as well. And he's off to a good start here today, as is the rest of this Lindenwood team. What else can they do in this exciting first half so far? Morris into the middle, wide open. They shoot it and they score it. Covington lost his defender again, similar to one of his first goals of the game. Just so much room in front of the net, and he scores the team's 7th goal already as they are stomping all over this Grizzlies team who have made the trip from 14 hours away but are not getting the results they had intended to look for coming into this game. And a timeout is called. 7:23 left to go here in the first half. 7-0 Lions lead. We'll go over some of the key stats so far, including the team stats, where Lindenwood has assisted 6 of their 7 goals, already at their season average. And we still have 7 minutes and 23 seconds left to go here in this lopsided first half. They've outshot Grizzlies 22-10 overall, 17-3 in terms of shots on goal. Adams State's won 5 of the 8 faceoffs so far, but haven't been able to do anything with them so far as both teams get a chance to take a break, and head coach Jerome Austin gets a chance to bring his team some refreshments from the sideline as he is in his 4th season as the head coach of Adams State. Previously was the head recruiter and defensive assistant for the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Club lacrosse team before coming here to Adams State University, a program that we mentioned earlier, looking for their first win since 2019, but a strong challenge is in front of them here on the road against a Lindenwood Lions team who comes in with so much momentum. After a strong road trip, they played their first home game of the season, like we mentioned earlier, against Rockhurst on February 19th. But they were on the road from then until Saturday, March 19th. So a month had passed, and they had played 4 games in that span, 3 of them against rink opposition, building the resume and also giving this team a chance to see some of the teams that they could possibly run into at the end of the season. And they made the most of that opportunity, defeating Florida Southern College, but they did fall against Limestone University, a top 10 team, and Tampa as well, another top 10 team. So the only 2 losses so far of the year for head coach Jim Ling's squad have come against nationally ranked opposition and top 10 nationally ranked teams to go along with that. So tough schedule so far, but Lions still 2 games over 500 and well on their way to going 3 games above 500 as well, if this first half is any indicator for how the rest of the game is going to unfold. It's Smith on the near side. He's already scored once in this game. Now it's Zughauer on the far end. 6:40 left to go here in the second quarter. Kaschalk. Smith. That shot goes wide, and again the passing by Lindenwood spotless in this first half. Corker off to Smith. Smith looked in the middle, didn't go that way, but now gets it back from Thompson. Finds his man, Kaschalk. Another save for Brendan Williams. 11 now on the game for him. Williams, a player who started in 9 games last year, had a goals against average right around 16.5, and a save percentage at 51%. So he's a talented goalkeeper who has been busy in his Adams State career. He's been busy here today so far, but he stood up to the challenge against this Lindenwood attack that has scored 7 goals so far. couple of moves. Not too much success behind those moves as they pass it away. It was Dawson Balbanoff, a sophomore midfielder from Denver, Colorado. As they pass it between the hash marks for Anderson. 5.5 minutes left to go here in the first half. And again, a loose pass goes out of play. Lions take over in possession. Turnover number 10 of the game for Adams State, who have just not stood up to the challenge so far on the offensive end. Yet to have a shot on target in this second quarter. Covington, who's already scored several times in this game, he gave it off to Thompson. Now Thompson holds it on the far side. Covington, 4 goals, 1 assist, and 7 shots, 6 of them on target. He's been efficient in the opportunities he's had, and lethal as well. Morris. All the way across, and Cologne holds on to it for a moment before giving it off to Morris. A difference of size there. Morris at 6'3". And then Cologne wearing the number 1 here on the near side as he calls for it, doesn't get it, at 5'10". Under 4.5 minutes left to go. Morris thought about it, pulls it away. Now Cologne shoots it, and he scores it as well. What a finish into the top right corner by Cologne. Couldn't have been placed any better, and he makes it an 8-0 Lions lead. Third goal of his early Lindenwood career. Someone who is usually the setup man. Had some good chances against Indianapolis over the weekend. Couldn't find the back of the net. But now he's able to do so, and he gives Lindenwood their monstrous advantage so far and gives Adams State a mountain that they have to climb. Thompson faked it one way, went the opposite direction. Now they find Smith. Possession numbers overwhelmingly favoring Lindenwood. As Corker lines up the shot, denied again. Costly turnover could be as it's picked up by Covington, just sprints out of the traffic. And now they ask for the shot clock to be reset to 60. Well, from 60 to now 80. We'll see if it stays that way. And indeed it does, as Adams State had possession, turned the ball over, allowing Lindenwood to have a little bit longer of a possession. 3:15 left to go in the first half. Thompson to the top for Smith. Smith faked it as if he were to line up the shot, and now a whistle is blown. Lions to turn the ball over. It'll go the opposite direction as the Grizzlies look to try to challenge Eberry. He made 3 saves in that first quarter, hasn't made one since. Grizzlies had a run be made by Koki on the near end. They don't go that direction. Instead, they make a couple of changes and slow things down. Pass into the middle, lots of traffic there. And it falls all the way to Eber. Aggressive defense again by the Lions, and it pays off as it was Schaefer who was applying the pressure. Lindenwood on the counter. Kaschonk. Quiet game from his standards so far. Just 1 assist. Hasn't scored, but he's been busy. 5 shots, 3 of them being on goal. Just hasn't been able to beat Williams so far. Plenty of time left to do so. 2:10 left here in the second quarter. Lindenwood scored 4 goals in each of the 2 quarters so far. Morris. He picked up an assist on the Cologne goal, the most recent one for Lindenwood. As now it's Thompson. Thompson to the near end. Morris shoots it. Hardly having to move that time was Williams. Went straight into the netting. Give him now 13 saves in this impressive first half from him. But who else on this team is able to step up as they trail by 8? 90 seconds left to go in the first half, and a first half that has been controlled by Lindenwood since the very beginning. They scored a goal inside the first 2 minutes. Haven't looked back since then either. Eber sits ready in goal as he's the one who's able to clear it away. Launches a Lindenwood counterattack. Here comes Preston Borkart. Now Thompson. Thompson passes it. Covington cuts his way in front of goal and scores again. 5-goal first half for Peter Covington. And with 59 seconds left to go in the quarter, Lindenwood all over the Grizzlies with a 9-0 lead. .27 shots for Lindenwood, 22 of them now being on target as they have been all over the Grizzlies on the offensive end, on the defensive end as well. Their aggressive defense has been paying off, forcing constant turnovers, already 10 on the game for the Grizzlies. As there's some pressure on the far side, again, loose ball into the middle, picked up by Knowles. Jordan Knowles showing off his speed, getting past a couple of defenders. He finds Covington, who might have a chance again at a 6th. And somehow that one doesn't go in, unless the official is saying it is, and it did. Find the back of the net. So much power on this shot, quickly balanced out to the disagreement of some Grizzlies, but either way, it is a 10-0 Lindenwood lead, and Peter Covington is having one of his most special days as a Lion yet with his 6th goal of the game. He came into this game with 3 goals on the season. He is by far increased that here today, nearly in double figures now with 9 on the year. In 2021, most goals he scored in a game, March 13th, 2021 against Indianapolis. He found the back of the net 4 times. This one, he's found the back of the net 6 times, and it's all come in this first half. 12 seconds left to go in the quarter. Maybe a chance for a 11th Lions goal. Here's Smith. Lost his defender. Pass it into the middle, and it's just pushed towards the net, but they couldn't find the back of the net that time around as the first half ends, and the definition of a perfect first half could not have been any more to this description as the Lions lead by 10 with a masterful display by Peter Covington with 6 goals to his name. Eber 5 saves in net for Lindenwood to give them this huge 10-goal advantage against Adams State University here at Hunter Stadium. Make sure to stick around for the second half. We'll take a quick break and be back with you here soon for the start of the second half between the Lions and the Grizzlies on the GLVC Sports Network.
Lions, what's up? It's a beautiful day here in St. Charles, and right now we're on campus in the Reynolds dorm about to give you a dorm tour in 2 minutes or less. First, to get things started, I thought it might be nice to add that decorating your dorm room doesn't have to be expensive. Lots of places like Bed Bath & Beyond have discounts for college students, including a checklist to help you remember what to bring and what not to forget. When you arrive at Lindenwood, you will notice that you are provided with a desk, a chair, and a bed. Bed risers are not something you must buy when you move here. Even on the highest level that you can change your bed to, you can still fit the dresser that Lindenwood provides you underneath. Being from out of state, I brought a lot of items to put on my wall to make me feel more at home. In the dorm, we're not allowed to put nails or screws into the walls, so believe it or not, these are all held up by command strips. Here in Reynolds, we are provided with our own laundry room, but if you're in a dorm that does not have its own, always remember that Evans has plenty of washers and dryers for students on campus. A personal refrigerator is something you will want to have. It's perfect for storing snacks, drinks, and anything of the sorts, just like frozen treats or my smoothies. Before we go, I thought I'd give a few helpful tips. Don't forget extension cords because you will definitely need those with the spaced out outlets on the wall. Space-saving hangers are a gift of a genius when you can't decide which clothes to bring from home, like me. When you're buying sheets, don't forget that your beds are twin XL, so make sure you get the right size so they fit. Also, if you wake up in the morning and can't get through your day without a cup of coffee, don't be scared to bring a coffee maker. I don't drink coffee, so I brought a smoothie maker. But if you have time, don't forget to stop by the Starbucks located in the Lark. Alright Lions, thanks for listening in. And don't forget, here at Lindenwood, real experience, real success.
I would say that the best part about St. Charles is it's a big city with a small city feel. So being at Lindenwood, I just really feel like I'm in more of like a community, whereas in St. Louis, I didn't like the hustle and bustle of being downtown. St. Louis, it's only about 20 to 30 minute drive depending on traffic.
Being a student at Lindenwood University, we're about a 20 to 30 minute drive away from Forest Park, and what's convenient about that is there's running trails, there's a golf course, and there's a zoo that's free to the public as well. You'll spend less time trying to figure out what to do, and you can just go over there and pick and choose from the 500 acres of space there is.
So there's a hockey team, Major League Baseball, so there's a lot of fun stuff down there. There's always some event happening downtown, but also just in the general St. Charles area. There's food, shopping, all that good stuff. There's a mall just right down the street, but there's also Main Street that has family-owned boutiques and like family-owned food places. So it's really nice to kind of be able to get the sense of small town, but also the sense of like a suburban area.
Here there's like group workouts, there's saunas, there's spas, there's a lot more stuff that you can really like get out in the community and do. Sugar Fire is like my favorite restaurant. I eat there probably twice a week, no joke. Mod Pizza is an all-time favorite. There's always new restaurants to try, like you're never gonna get burnt out.
I was born and raised in St. Charles, always was in the area, so it was really nice being able to come to school that's nearby home, being able to go home and see my puppy all the time. It's really nice to be able to do that, but also you get that sense of independence just because you aren't living at home.
Well, I was born in Honduras. Here in Lindenwood, there's a very wide variety of people from all over the world, so you end up meeting people from every single culture. So the people that you end up meeting here, they're gonna be your family. They're gonna be the ones you reach out whenever you're sick, whenever you're in trouble, whenever you're struggling with classes.
So I'm from Boise, Idaho, and the one thing that compares St. Louis area to Boise is the fact that it's so historic and it's very easy to get around and find things to do. It's a very comfortable place to be, and that's what I really enjoy about the campus life itself.
I just got an internship at Edward Jones, and they said that it was really nice that I had a Spanish major and I was going to be bilingual because they were looking to expand in some Spanish-speaking countries, and they were really looking for people that could bring that to them.
So I'm doing this Linden Teach program because it seemed like a really great way to get experience and still have a mentor there to guide me.
Now since I got into this major and I met my professors who, like, you know, I usually take the same class with the same professors, and I really like it now. Like, I like coming to class. They're just very skilled in what they do. They know public health very well.
I've been able to tell jobs like, hey, I have the skills I need from both practical and analytical in order to figure out how to solve a problem, and then just my other experiences at Lindenwood had given me the tools to manage and lead teams. And putting these all together, it's helped me really develop a strong resume.
And a lot of times people kind of grow into principalship when they've taught for a while, but I came in knowing that that's what I really wanted to do. The process in terms of defending my dissertation, it really just made me feel unstoppable. I moved up from classroom teacher to assistant principal, from assistant principal to head principal. So
education is one of the greatest gifts someone can receive. So I'm really thankful. I love it here. I feel like I've made great friends. Lindenwood has given me so many opportunities, and I'm really, really blessed that I chose to come here.
Some advice I would have for somebody that's starting college is to definitely get involved. My freshman year, I got involved in cheerleading and I got involved in Greek life. I never thought I was going to be a collegiate athlete. My team won nationals this past school year, so now I'm a national champion, and I have no idea how this happened.
My freshman year, we got second at nationals, which was a pretty big deal, actually. The trophy is right there, the last one. So I was able to be a part of that team, and actually I did really good.
Be confident, try to be involved, because that's really going to help. It's going to be your experience, and it's going to make a difference. As a freshman, I was exposed to everything that was going on campus. I've been able to plan events such as homecoming, the Christmas walk, and Dark Carnival, so those have really helped me to be really involved and know what's going on campus.
I'm a community advisor, we call them CAs, in the dorms. I am president of Catholic Student Union. I'm involved with Alpha Phi Omega, which is a co-ed service fraternity, and I'm part of the Honors College.
Like the vibe of the school, everybody is so willing to help, from librarians to counselors to professors to cafeteria workers, anybody.
I love this school. I couldn't imagine going anywhere else, and I don't think that I would be as successful or where I am today without all the opportunities that Lindenwood University has given me.
I chose to come to Lindenwood because everybody I met was so inviting, and the professor I met with just made me feel like I was supposed to be here.
Coming in as a veteran, the VA coordinator here made this transition to being here at Lindenwood an easy and seamless one.
I got here, did the tour. It had everything I wanted. I enrolled immediately once I got back home.
Seeing the space and being like, this is what I want to do, this is where I want to perform, that just kind of sealed the deal for me.
One of my favorite things about being on campus is how everyone's together. I love that there's always an opportunity to do something new.
Living in a dormitory here on campus, like each floor is their own little neighborhood. There's so much community throughout those floors that one night you could be doing trivia, but the other night they could also have a yoga class scheduled.
I work in the residential life office, so I get to help students kind of figure out housing.
I work here on campus as a student employee with our advancements and communications office, and that gives me a lot of real life experience while applying my schoolwork to that.
The way that Lindenwood gives me my real experience is a lot of the professors are people who have recently been or are still in the industry.
We have people that have designed for Broadway. We have people that have stage managed big equity shows, and they kind of give us that insider knowledge on what we need to do to be successful in the industry.
All my professors are great. When I have an issue or if I have difficulty with an idea, a lot of times I can go to them and they will give me another angle to approach it and make it better.
All of my classes are really catered towards making sure I'm going to fit in wherever I go. The challenging parts about those classes, they're getting me ready for nursing school afterwards, and I just feel like I'm so prepared.
I feel like I've gotten really good at being self-sufficient, so the idea of living on my own after graduation isn't that scary now.
The experience that I really want to gain from being here at Lindenwood is real-world situations that I think even just in my first semester being here I've got. Sets me up for life after Lindenwood.
That's what I'm here for. That is the experience, and I can take all of these tools. I can take tools I've learned last week and take them into an audition now. I think that's amazing, and I really think that's what we're here to do.
And there's so many stories that you get an internship, and as soon as you graduate, you're offered a job right off the bat to be able to get into the advertising world before I get out into the world. So I have a little backpack that has all the things I need to succeed out there.
I think that's been the thing that has been so amazing and so surprising about Lindenwood is that they just want me to give my all when I'm there, and that's all.
And we are back here for the start of the second half. 10-0 Lindenwood lead. You're watching some Lindenwood men's lacrosse action against Adams State University here on the GLVC Sports Network. This is Dominic Kosher calling things from Lindenwood University's Hunter Stadium. A dominant display to say the least, for Lindenwood in that first half. A 10-0 lead heading into the final 30 minutes of play. A 6-goal first half for Peter Covington to lead the way for Lindenwood individually. Cam Smith got himself a goal. Adrian Thompson as well as others. What else can Lindenwood do as an encore against this Adams State team that looked overmatched in that first half? A team that is in their second game of the season, their second game since 2021. They played back on March 5th, hadn't played since then, and are trying to knock off some of the rust, but haven't found success on either end so far, allowing 10 goals on the defensive side, and then offensively just not really putting it together. They did have 5 shots on target, forcing 5 Cal Ebert saves, but on the other end, allowed 30 first-half shots for Lindenwood, and 23 of them on target. Chance on the way already, and that one is stopped by the impressive Brandon Williams. He made 13 saves in that first half of play as he looks for some support from the rest of this Adams State roster. A team coming from Alamosa, Colorado, and the RMAC, or the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. A conference that they finished last in each of the last 4 seasons, including that shortened COVID 2020 year. They were sitting in the last spot in the conference at the time the season had come to a conclusion. Here's Corker now. We're in the 27 for Lindenwood. They have Smith out there along with Covington, Cash, Chong, Zuhauer, and behind the goal, Adrian Thompson. Zuhauer scored once, had 2 shots, both of them on target in the first half. As it goes to Corker, now over to the far side, held by Smith. Corker draws a defender, leads to a little bit more space for the shot, and it leads to a goal for Cam Smith into the top left corner. And the GLVC Offensive Player of the League is on the board again. He makes it 11-0. Most goals scored in a game so far this year for Lindenwood was against a ranked Rockhurst team back on February 19th. That one here was at Hunter Stadium as well. Scored 20 goals in that game. Are well on that pace once again here today against the Grizzlies. Smith comes off after scoring his goal. And as you hear there, another Lindenwood assist, this time from Corker. 9 of the 11 goals for Lindenwood have been assisted by another Lion. And total on the far end, the long hair of Balabanov. He recorded 6 assists last year. That'll be the most on the team. 3rd in terms of goals as well with 7. So he's a balanced player who provides a lot on the offensive end, but another frustrating turnover for head coach Jerome Austin's team as he throws his arms up in the air, just not seeing what he wanted to see. He knew this was a tough challenge coming into the game, most likely, knowing what's on the other side, especially here on the road. But maybe didn't expect it to this extent. 11-0 the score, under 12 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Lindenwood on their way to their 5th win of the season and possibly a 3rd in a row, as that one finds the bottom right corner with ease. And there he is. Patrick Cashaw gets his first of the day, the team's leading scorer, now with 25 goals on the year. Cashaw is the leader now in terms of goals this season for the GLVC, tied for that number with Wyatt Ollier from the University of Indianapolis. Both of them have 25 each. Ollier's played 2 extra games as well. The leader in terms of goals per game still remains Lindenwood's Patrick Kaschak. That's the 3rd of this assist of the day for Thompson, who continues to provide so much value for Lindenwood in terms of setting up their possessions and their success on the offensive side of things, as he stands behind Williams' goal. Williams, 12 goals allowed, 14 saves, a save percentage at 54%. Covington to Smith. Smith finds Corker, who makes a move inside, passes all the way across. That shot saved by Williams. Lots of room in the middle. Good passing to set up Brett Carberry, the sophomore midfielder from Chicago, Illinois, who now comes off for the Grizzlies. They are walking a tightrope now on the near side, are able to escape that tightrope, though. It was Chase Roosh from Seattle, Washington, who was right in front of the Lions bench and was able to stay in play and keep the possession alive. That ball's knocked away for a moment, but it's picked right back up by Anderson. Plenty of time left to go in the possession, 40 seconds to be exact, as the pass goes into the middle. Too much traffic there in white, and it's taken away. Maybe had a chance to shoot that one. Instead, they were passive and gave it off, and now Lindenwood has a counter. Covington shouted his instructions, waiting for Mason Homer to sprint on, or instead walk on. Cologne also preparing to come onto the field, as it is Owens for Adams State coming on a little bit late. Now Cologne at the 40-yard line. Right behind him is Morris. Those two have gone back and forth plenty of times here today. Morris assisting Cologne's goal. Here is Cologne. Him and Thompson go back and forth. Now Morris gets it again. Lions taking their time, just spreading out this Adams State defense. Waiting for that one open lane. There it is, but the shot goes wide. Covington looking for his 7th. Couldn't find it that time. 9:04 left to go here in the third quarter. Goes out of play, and head coach Jim Lane cannot believe that one was given to Adams State instead of the other way around. Both hands still in the air. Lions still not satisfied, despite being up 12. As this Grizzlies team, who averaged right around 5.5 goals per game in 2021, allowed over 16.5, are once again having trouble on the offensive end, just finding that success. A suffocating Lindenwood defense, and big reason why. Shot on the way, took a deflection, goes out of play. It'll be Grizzlies' ball, and the Lions bench, they get irate by that. There was some contact as a Grizzlies player went down, and leads to them having an extended possession. 38 seconds left to go in it. Koch into the middle. That pass took a deflection off of their own player. Rusk is there fighting for it. Neither team able to collect it smoothly until Rusk comes away with it. Now goes down, stripped away from him. Official says play on. Been a disciplined game so far. No penalties for either side, as they have stayed on even strength. Sprinting on for Lindenwood, wearing the number 31. Coming on late was Preston Borkart, the junior from Watertown, Wisconsin. A valuable player on the defensive end for this Lions team. Listed as a midfielder. You can see his presence on that side of the ball as that shot finds its way past Ebert. It's the first goal of the game for the Grizzlies, as it was scored by Koking. His third shot of the game, second one on frame. And it gives Adams State a goal they have been searching for since the beginning whistle. Couldn't find it through the first half, but now with 7:37 left to go in the third quarter, they are able to finally beat Kyle Ebert, as the first shot on goal of the second half for them is able to go into the back of the net. So that gives something for the Grizzlies supporters and their players to be excited about and cheer about. But the Lions are on the attack once again, a team that is been given lofty expectations by themselves and some on the outside as well. Picked to finish behind Indianapolis in the GLVC, but a massive win might change things there, as that shot goes into the back of the net, and it's Jonathan Schlapper that time, the senior from Libertyville, Illinois, who quickly finds an answer to the opposing goal. Less than a minute later, he makes it 13-1. Third goal of the season for Schlapper as he comes off and is embraced by his Lions teammates. And this home of Hunter Stadium starting to become a fortress for this Lindenwood team. They were impressive in their first 2 games here at home, defeating a top 5 Indy team that was undefeated. They were on a 7-game winning streak. Defeated them there on Saturday. But then they went against Rockhurst a month ago, a team that was ranked and a team with plenty of talent as well. Dominated that one, 28-8 final score. So here at home in St. Charles, Lions looking like a formidable opponent once again this year. As that pass took a deflection, Chase Showalter watching on as the Lions defense has been strong here today. Just 6 shots on goal compared to Lindenwood's 28. A stat that helps indicate just how lopsided this game has truly been so far. Knowles comes off. Showalter comes off as well, but Corker comes on as well as Zughauer. Under 6 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Standing in front of goal off the ball right now, Patrick Cashonk, who has scored once here today, assisted once as well. Currently 5th in the nation in terms of goals per game at right around 4.5. Tied for 15th in the country with 5.5 points a game. First year as a Lion, fitting in immediately as that shot goes over, helping to fill the gap of several key players from the roster last year and several difference makers on the offensive end. Of course, Carter Collins, what a season he had last year for this Lindenwood team as their leading point scorer. Needed someone to help fill the gap, and several players have done that as that shot goes into the back of the net. It's Corker this time around to make it 14-1, 5:13 left to go in the quarter. Sticking on that point, however, Lindenwood, without several of their key players from last year, Carter Collins, a 40-goal season in 2021, 13 assists. Rob Tucker behind him with 19. Leonard Jones with 19, a longtime veteran and leader of this Lindenwood men's lacrosse program. Those three no longer with Lindenwood. Grant Glazier as well. He scored 14. Several players who scored in double figures not on the Lindenwood roster this season, so a lot of fresh faces. As been indicated, you have a bigger role for players such as Corker. But then first-year players like Cologne and Zughauer, they both have scored and assisted here today. And then Patrick Cashonk and his impact is well indicated in each game he steps on the field. He has the ball now. He passes it all the way across. They move it around. Morris to Cologne. Cologne back to Morris. He's without a goal today, but he has 2 assists. We'll see if he can give himself a well-deserved goal as well. Pass all the way across. Couldn't have been better. Now Cologne gets it again. Under 30 seconds remaining in this Lions possession. They hold on to it on the far end. Freshman into the middle for Homer, and Homer had a good look towards the goal. Couldn't put it on frame. It goes out of play. They'll signal a Adams State possession. Their lone goals so far coming from Kyle Koking, a player who scored 4 goals last year. Koking, the sophomore midfielder from Prescott, Arizona, has been the lone player in green to make a difference on the stat sheet so far on the offensive side of things, as we have 3:45 remaining in this third quarter of play. Jacob Austin, 4 shots so far, most on the team. Only one of them have been on target. He has it again between the hash marks before whipping it outside where it's held by Balabanov. That pass was a high one. Goes all the way to Cam Smith on the Lindenwood bench. Lions take over, moving in the opposite direction in a game that has been one-sided from the very beginning, and a game where the Lions were expected to perform at this extent. with their recent wins and their performances against some of the top teams in the nation, now facing a struggling Adams State program here at home. Maybe some pressure there to perform at this level, but head coach Jim Lang's squad has certainly done that as we sit in the late stages of the third quarter. Offensively, the passing has been superb here today, leading to several Lindenwood goals up to this point, and also 11 Lions assists. But then defensively as well, minimizing the opportunities that this Grizzlies team has. Only 6 shots on target. 5 of them have been stopped by Kyle Ebert, whose day is likely over as well. Blake Nolan into the game, wearing the number 30, giving their star goalkeeper a chance of rest. Also a lot of new faces out there for the offensive side of things. You have behind the goal still in the game with his big impact so far. Several assists. Has found the back of the net as well, Adrian Thompson. But first faces like the one you just saw right there, fighting the back of the net, this time it's Dawson Gillette, a freshman from Battle Creek, Michigan, scoring for Lindenwood as their deep success on the offensive side gets even deeper with some new players out there, including Weiss and Gillette. It is the first goal of his career. Lions on the attack again. Under 2 minutes left to go. They have a 15-1 lead. The assist went to Alex Weiss, so congratulations to the goal scorer in Dawson Gillette on his first Lions goal, and it comes here at home against Adams State University. As you hear the home fans acknowledge Gillette, as he is also embraced on the sideline by Adrian Thompson. Another rocket by Morris. Again, have to be hesitant to be in the front of those, but it was blocked on the way through by a Grizzlies defender. Picked up around midfield for a moment there for Lindenwood, but then it goes out of play. It was Hunt who is busy. He's collected 5 ground balls so far. Possession on the far side. Blake Nolan in goal, wearing number 30 for Lindenwood, the junior from Cary, Illinois. It is his 3rd appearance of the season. As the Lions won the ball back, have a chance now with 38 seconds left to go to possibly get one more chance on goal and maybe one more goal on the board as well to make it a even larger Lions lead. They've scored 5 goals in the third quarter so far. Had a 10-0 lead at the end of the first 30 minutes of play and have kept their foot on the gas pedal, extending their lead now to this point. Adams State, or the Grizzlies, have been able to get one back, however. But the Lions quickly answered back less than a minute later. Morris, perfect pass in front, spinning and shooting and scoring is Alex Weiss. He already has an assist, and now he has another goal for Lindenwood as they now lead 16-1 with 4.5 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. The chance to get the bench players into the game and have them make an impact here at Hunter Stadium was one that Lang was likely looking for and got, as it's been all Lindenwood here today. 16-1 is the Lions' lead after the most recent goal scored by Weiss off of a Morris assist has them up by 15 here on the GLVC Sports Network.
As a quarterback, I'm responsible for making decisions in a matter of seconds. As students, we may feel a blitz is coming or the clock is running out. Sometimes you just need to take a time out. Sometimes you just need someone to listen. It's comforting to know our Lindenwood team extends beyond the field.
Every day, team physicians from Barnes Jewish and Washington University work to keep our St. Louis Blues healthy and on the ice. Be treated like a pro. Barnes Jewish and Washington University Orthopedics.
Barnes Jewish and Washington University Orthopedic physicians use the latest science to keep our Blues skating strong. So when injury takes you out of your game, turn to Barnes Jewish and Washington University Orthopedics. Be treated like a pro.
As you look at the Lindenwood Lions logo, 16-1 is the advantage for head coach Jim Lang's squad as we head into the fourth and final quarter of play. This is Dominic Kosher here on the GLVC Sports Network, a game that has been dominated by Lindenwood from the very beginning. Offensively, they have outshot Adams State University 43-14, 31-6 in terms of shots on goal. Neither team has sent someone to the sideline or been penalized, so it's been just one game for both of these teams. Yet another positive for Lindenwood. On the other end, Grizzlies just haven't been able to put things together on either side of the field offensively, just struggling to get the opportunities against D-Bear. And then on the defensive end, the passing for Lindenwood has cut through this Adams State defense for a majority of the game, and we'll see how much more that will occur here in these final 15 minutes as the Lions move from right to left, have the first possession of the half, or the fourth quarter. Shane Sullivan into the game, the senior attacker from Colorado Springs, Colorado. He's into the game wearing the number 2 for Lindenwood. Gillette on the ball now, got his first Lions goal in that third quarter. We'll see who else can add to that tally, as it almost was another one there, but it was a good save again by Williams, making now 16 on the game for him. Possession remains on as they pass it off to the near side. George into the game, wearing the 13. Got past 2 defenders, Simon scored it. Nick George with one of the best goals of the day that time, somehow got through those 2 Grizzly defenders and was able to put it into the back of the net after taking one bounce off the turf. Not much Williams could do that time, as it is now 17-1. Took 45 seconds into the fourth quarter for Lindenwood to add on to their impressive tally. All smiles on the Lindenwood bench as they win the face-off, and here they go once again, but the ball wasn't cleanly collected that time. It was Jack Huntington who was the intended target. Couldn't field it cleanly, goes the other way. Far side held by Adams States' Johnson. They go all the way past the defense and score, and it's Johnson who gets his first of the day, and slow to get up after that is Blake Nolan in goal. He's on his feet now with a little bit of a limp. 17-2 is now the score here at Hunter Stadium. An impressive goal that time, his second of the season for this Adams State University team. As the game resumes. So Nolan stays in, good sign there. It was Kyle Ebert who got the start, but now gets a chance to rest as the first couple flags of the game come out. It'll be against Lindenwood. So Ron Johnson makes it now a 15-goal game. Lindenwood still on top. The sophomore midfielder from Peach City, Georgia, transferring in from Louisiana State University, now playing with the Grizzlies. Easy collection there for Lindenwood, who takes over. Eklund into the game as more fresh faces come onto the field as it's offside against Lindenwood. So first penalty of the game goes against the home side, a team that is ranked inside the top 15 in the nation and are boosting their claim to possibly be a top 10 team in the nation as well with their strong resume so far. Their only 2 losses coming against top 10 teams in the country. They beat number 18 Rockers back in February, beat a number 15 Florida Southern team on March 7th, and then on Saturday, a top 5 Indianapolis team as well. Between the hash marks, Grizzlies have it. Pass goes to the near side, and now out of play. Nick George was the one who was signaled offside. He's off for 30 seconds, so an extra man opportunity present for the Grizzlies. Can they make the most of it? Down by 15, 12:40 left to go. Sprinting on for Lindenwood and applying some more fresh legs onto the field for Lindenwood is Van Cleek. As the Grizzlies slowly move it on the far side, the offside penalty is up. Lions at full strength. As now it's Hubbard. He sets the screen. Spinning it outside was Balabanov. And the possession comes to an end. Just no clean looks that time. A credit to the Lindenwood defense, who forced the turnover going the other way. We mentioned this earlier. The second to last non-conference game of the season is present here for Lindenwood right now against this Adams State team. Their next game will be on Saturday, March 26th at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. That game starting at 1 p.m. That will be their final game in the regular season outside of the GLVC. And a GLVC schedule that Lindenwood you feel pretty confident going into. They've already beaten the team projected to win the conference and the team that won the conference last year. As that shot was a beautiful fake. Instead it goes wide, holding on to it and fooling the Grizzlies defense that time. For Lindenwood was Schlapper, who's already scored 1 in this game, and now another flag comes out, and might just be against Schlapper, who is told to run off, and we'll have to wait and see what the call is from the officials, but either way, it will be against Lindenwood and Schlapper. So after having no penalties inside the first 45 minutes of the game, we've now seen 2 in the last couple of minutes, both against Lindenwood. So the calls are made. 11:28 left to go in the fourth quarter. Lindenwood 17, Adams State 2. As off for Adams State on the other side is Balabanov.
State's number 15, Dawson Balabanov, for offside. And for Lindenwood, a 1-minute penalty has been issued to number 7, Jonathan Schlapper.
So those are the calls, as you heard them from our PA announcer today, and Matt Kenyon. So Balabanov is off for 30 seconds, while it's Schlapper off for a minute. Grizzlies will be in possession, a team that will play here at Hunter Stadium again this week. They'll play on Wednesday, March 23rd against Quincy University. That game starting at 2 p.m. Central Time. It'll be a long time before this team returns home to Alamosa, Colorado, which is where they started their season. Friday, April 22nd against Westminster College from Utah. That is the next home game for the Grizzlies. Lions had an open man in front of it. Sullivan, who had plenty of room, but Huntington just put too much air on the pass. It goes out of play. 11 minutes left to go. Could have been an 18th goal for Lindenwood, but instead they turn the ball over as they allow their starters to get rest, which means the end of the day for several of the key contributors here today. Cologne had a goal and an assist if he stays on the sideline for the remainder of the game. Zughauer with a goal and assist to his name as well. Morris with 3 assists. Served as one of the key playmakers here today for Lindenwood, and orchestrators Cam Smith, the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week. 2 goals for him. As that shot wasn't a clean one, goes out of play. No one was the closest one to it. Draws an applause from the home crowd as it goes out, but the big star of the day was Peter Covington. 6 goals and 1 assist for him. Doesn't get too much better than what he's done here today for this Lindenwood team in just the span of 3 quarters as well. Could have been an even bigger day if the score had been closer, as it's 17-2 with 10 minutes left to go. Lions on their way to improving to 5-2 overall and 3-0 here at home. Sullivan shoots it and misses that time as it's chased down by Lindenwood. They'll keep the possession. Dawson Gillette was able to collect it. Here's Slapper now on the near side. Slapper pulls it away. 9:35 left to go and passes it to the top on this beautiful day here in St. Charles, Missouri. 74 degrees is the current temperature, partly cloudy as well. Doesn't get much better for that here in the middle of March as we approach the end of it as well. Some rain in the forecast, but not until this game is complete. Johnson holds on to it. He is the most recent goal scorer in this game for Adams State. He's taken multiple shots as well. As now it goes the other way. Here comes Lindenwood. Can they find an 18th goal? Mason Homer coming into the game. The Lions number 42 as he holds it now at the 35-yard line and slows it down. Looks over to the near side and Cullen's back in. Him and Morris are rejoining the Lindenwood attack. J.P. Morris, the graduate student from Edmond, Oklahoma. Previous school was Oklahoma Christian. As it's picked up off of a bounce by Sullivan, who fires it all the way about 20 yards to Cologne. Cologne shoots it, and what a shot by Cologne into the top right corner. Came back in, and within a minute of being back on the field, he's able to score Lindenwood's 18th goal of the game, and that one was another pretty one. As with 8:21 remaining, it is been a cruise to this scoreline for Lindenwood. Several key contributors on the offensive end. We talked about it earlier, but now Cologne with this second. He didn't score in the last game against Indianapolis, but he did pick up 2 assists. Confidence being built all across this Lindenwood roster with performances like this. Of course, the win, they electrified the home Hunter crowd on Saturday as that shot goes wide and took a bounce too. Lindenwood will keep the possession. Sullivan was right there. As now it's held on the near end is Nick George. George scored, splitting through 2 defenders on the near wing and was able to find the back of the net. Several highlight reel plays for Lindenwood so far. That one, not one of them, as the pass goes all the way out to the far end. Lions well above their goal per game average here today. They're hovering right around 11.5 per contest. An impressive tally considering the strength of schedule they've had so far. But now a chance to increase that number here today with their 18-goal outburst. Second most goals scored in a game so far this season for this Lindenwood team. Most was in their home opener and season opener against Rockhurst on the 19th of February. 20 goals scored. And a well-balanced offensive approach there. One player lost their stick. The Lions couldn't take advantage. Instead, they have it on the far side. Homer. He finds Dylan Selvage, a sophomore from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, getting a chance here to play in front of his home crowd. Now it's Homer. Holds it on his left. Thinking about shooting it. Does. And it goes wide. Still in goal for Adams State is Brandon Williams, a player who's made 16 saves here today. 18 goals allowed, a save percentage at 47%. Lots of room given to the Lindenwood attacker. It leads to a Williams save. Alex Weiss will slow it onto it as not too much pressure was applied to him that time. Was able to find the room to go towards goal. As now it's collected at midfield, and he lost the ball. He lost the stick. Lost the possession. It was Boonshaft who had at the Lions logo. And now here comes Lindenwood again. Running towards goal is George, and now he pulls it away into the near side corner. And the whistle is blown as they signal a stoppage to move the shot clock and possession clock up to 80 seconds. So possession gets 20 seconds longer for Lindenwood. Schlapper holds it now on the near end. Lions will improve to 9-0 against this Adams State program all time as that shot goes wide. They have dominated the rivalry in the past. We'll see if they see each other again in the future, of course, with the Division I move on the way for Lindenwood. Could be the last time we see this matchup for quite a while. We'll see. Shot goes wide. Sullivan there had the room, the senior. But it'll be an Adams State possession now, going the opposite way. Their game against Indianapolis, the Lions had that strong defensive performance, possibly leading to this one as well, where they've only allowed 2 goals and not too many shots either. Only 16 overall in the game, 7 in terms of shots on goal. That game was the least amount of goals scored in a win for Lindenwood since March 20th of last year against Rockhurst, when they won by a final score of 7-3. And those were the fewest goals scored by Indianapolis since April 17th of last year, also at Rockhurst, where they lost 9-5. So this Lindenwood defense starting to build more and more confidence. They've been strong from the start of the season. And now here at home, putting even more of the pieces together for a team that has hopes of not just winning the conference, but also making an impact nationally. After falling short in most recent years, here's Rusk. Whistle's blown and a turnover for Lindenwood. Now a flag comes out as well. This will be the third time Lindenwood has been penalized so far here today, as call is made. It'll be Rusk who is forced to sit. So Rusk is off. That draws some groans and disagreement from the Lindenwood bench and crowd, but either way, still well on their way to a monstrous victory here today at Hunter Stadium. Right now a 16-goal lead. The most they have won by so far this season coming into the game was at Lynn University, or rather against Rockhurst here at home when they won by 12. This one a much more sizable victory, at least on the way right now. Tight defense forces a pass to the top as they move it all the way around. Extra man opportunity here for Adams State as Rusk is off for a 30-second delay of game call. I took a deflection on the way through, picked up behind the goal. It was Goking there. 1 goal into the game for him as that one goes straight up in the air and out to the far corner and out of play. It is still Adams State ball. Now it's time for a look at the upcoming schedule for Lindenwood. Again, they're on the road on March 26th against the University of Alabama in Huntsville. That game at 1 p.m. on Saturday. They'll stay on the road for one more after that as well. Their conference play continues against Maryville University on March 30th. That's a Wednesday at 3 p.m. in St. Louis, Missouri. They play against a Maryville team that has posed a problem for Lindenwood in the past and in most recent years. A talented Maryville team as well. They're off to a good start this year, 7-1 overall. They've won 5 games in a row, including their most recent game against Embry-Riddle University, and then the University of Montevallo on March 19th. They will play against Rockhurst on March 23rd. That's Wednesday, before their next game at home against Lindenwood. So another challenge on the way for Lindenwood, but one they can go into with confidence. One more roadblock on the way before that one, however, down in Alabama. Pass goes to the far side. They thought about shooting it. Now they do, and they score that time as it was a rocket of a shot into the bottom left corner. And with 2:44 left to go, Adams State makes it now an 18-3 game. Jacob Austin that time fighting the gap in the Lindenwood defense and almost shot it with a defender close to him. Was patient, lost the defender, and was able to pull the trigger and find the back of the net. So it makes the score just a little bit more positive for this Grizzlies team in a game that saw them go down at half 10-0. We're able to improve offensively come the second half, as that is a push from the back, and it draws a quick flag, and not much argument there from Adams State as they're forced to send a man off. Face-offs here today favor Lindenwood 15-10. The turnover number also favors Lindenwood by a heavy margin, 24 for Adams State compared to just 8 for the Lions. Morrissey's off for 30 seconds for pushing. The Lions have an extra man opportunity, and they have their starters back into the game as well, so chance for some of them to increase their numbers here in these final 2.5 minutes. Cologne shoots it and scores it again. Too much room given up to him. And with the extra man on the field for Lindenwood, they are able to take advantage of the opportunity. They lead 19-3. Look how quickly it took for the starters to go back in and immediately get back on the score sheet for this nationally ranked Lions team. Inside the top 15 so far this season. And those coming off the field now, big reason why, Smith and Cologne and Thompson behind the goal, and Patrick Cashtalk wasn't his usual dominant performance today, but they didn't really need a typical Patrick Cashtalk outing with the way the rest of the offense stepped up.
By number 1, Dylan Cologne. Assisted by number 50, Adrian Thompson.
As you hear there, another goal for Cologne. Give him a 3-goal, 1-assist game, as it's been one of his best performances so far as a Lindenwood Lion. And Adrian Thompson, 1 goal, 4 assists. He has done it all for Lindenwood and has helped make this the scoreline that it is. 1:40 left to go. That ball took a deflection and went out of play. Lions hold on to it a little bit longer. It'll be Sullivan to bring it in. Kyle Ebert on the defensive side for Lindenwood. 5 saves. 1 goal allowed. Save percentage at 83%. And was relieved of his duties by Blake Nolan, who's made 1 save, allowed 2 goals as the team's backup this season. 1:15 left to go. Adams State University will fall to 0-2 on the season, still in search of their first win since 2019. That shot was aiming for the top right corner, goes past it, and out of play. It was Lanigan who was eyeing the back of the net that time around. Lindenwood looking to get to the 20-goal margin for the second time this year, and that shot, or rather pass, was well wide and ends up with Kyle Ebert instead. So the Grizzlies, before they leave Missouri, had that game here at Hunter Stadium on Wednesday against Quincy University, so they continue to play teams inside the GLVC. That game starting at 2 p.m. Central Time. On the other side, Lindenwood will improve to 5-2 overall, 3-0 here at home. Their next game on Saturday against the University of Alabama in Huntsville, with that game starting at 1 p.m. for a team that will be right into that game on a 3-game winning streak. It started on the road against Lynn University. Then they beat Indianapolis in a little bit of a closer scoreline than this one has been so far. And now this one as well, as the Lions, with 5 seconds left to go, have one more shot on the way. It's off the bar, And it rolls all the way to the far side, so nearly a 20-goal game for Lindenwood. The clock stops with less than a half a second left to go, so the celebrations put on hold for just a moment longer. Ball is brought back in play, and the Lions win by a final score of 19-3 in a dominant offensive performance and a stellar lockdown defensive effort on the other side. Eber in goal, 5 saves, 1 goal allowed, 83 save percentage. Lindenwood outshot Adams State 58-21 in this game, 36-9 in terms of shots on goal. Looking at the individual outstanding performances for Lindenwood here today, it was Peter Covington who led the way with 6 goals and 1 assist. 11 shots as well, 9 of them being on target. Adrian Thompson, only 1 goal, but 4 assists to his name. Cam Smith with 2 goals, the GLVC Offensive Player of the Week, and an impressive display by the freshman from Texas, Dylan Colon, with 3 goals and 1 assist. He made an impact once again for this Lions team and has given head coach Jim Lang plenty to be happy about after this one-sided performance here today by Lindenwood. The Lions improved to 5-2 overall. Again, next game on Saturday. They won't play at home again until Tuesday, April 5th against Quincy University. 2 road games between then, including the trip to Alabama, and then against Maryville in their first game back in conference play since Saturday's big emotional win against Indianapolis. On the other side, Adams State falls to 0-2 on the year. They will go here and stay here at Lindenwood and play Quincy on Wednesday, where they look for better success and for their first win since 2019. So that does it here from Hunter Stadium. Final score 19-3. Lindenwood goes out on top here against the Adams State University Grizzlies. For Sydney Hoyt working behind the scenes, this is Dominic Kosher. Thanking you for joining us here today on the GLVC Sports Network as the Lions improve to 5-2 overall here from Hunter Stadium. Thank you again on the GLVC Sports Network.